This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for this Monday, November 6th. I'm Charity Brown. Mark Philman off today and will be for the next little while. Not because he's under the weather. No, this time he is away for pure enjoyment. He is on vacation for the next couple of weeks. So good for Mark. And for that reason, it was just me yesterday for the launch of this year's Operation Red Nose. Mark was supposed to be there because he and I will be co-chairing this year's Operation Red Nose. Honored and excited to be part of it. Of course, we talk about it every year, but this year our role will be a little more in depth. And we heard from organizer Rick Watt earlier this morning to talk about yesterday's official launch, and we'll get into that coming up in the podcast. As well, we'll touch on a couple of other events that took place this past weekend. Again, another big weekend here in the Quinte area as we had the time change. How are you feeling today? Some tips and tricks if you're feeling a little foggy as well. For so, we want to check in with Simple Desk, sponsor of Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Simple Desk in Trenton is your ultimate destination to streamline, market, and strengthen your business's brand. Jenny, the visionary behind Simple Desk, has built a team of qualified business growth experts with experience in marketing, design, and operations to help grow and scale your business. Simple Desk is the mastermind behind BRAZEN, a full-day experiential event for women by women. This full-day experiential event on May 31st, 2024 is packed with networking, vendor booths, exciting giveaways, delicious food, and a speakers panel of incredible female entrepreneurs sharing their inspiring stories. Tickets are on sale now. For all the details and to buy your tickets before they sell out, visit simpledesk.ca/brazen and be sure to follow Brazen on Instagram at BrazenEvents1. So thank you to Simple Desk. Be sure to get your tickets now for that event coming up next spring. As I mentioned, a big weekend. We set the clocks back this weekend, gained an hour. I always love the fall one because, you fall back, you gain that hour. But it can still have an effect on how you may feel today. And we touched on this a little bit on Friday because for the most part, Mark likes to poo-poo on it. And I see where he's coming from. Of course, it's just an hour, but it really is. It can affect you. I felt it yesterday even today, looking up at the clock here in the studio, the wall clock, which has not been changed yet. Every once in a while I glance at it and it does jar me because I think, whoa, wait a minute. Why does it say it's an hour ahead kind of thing? And the same thing happened yesterday morning. For some reason, and I'm sure it used to, our alarm clocks would reset on their own. So when I woke up yesterday and saw the time, I thought, okay, It's 8 o'clock. Not too bad. So really it'd be 9. No, it's 8. No, it was actually 7 in the morning and I got an extra hour in bed yet, which was wonderful. But just that moment of realization that, whoa, wait a minute, that's not the right time, really can throw you through a loop. So research has shown that is behind the fact, to a point, why there's more incidents of heart attack, strokes, traffic accidents, workplace accidents, so be careful at work today, and poor immune function when we mess with the time. More so in the spring because, quote unquote, we lose an hour. Not so much in the fall because to many, we gain the hour. Really, we're just balancing out. But that slight little change can be enough to knock you off your routine a little bit. So do be careful. To kind of overcome it, experts do say gradually adjust. So if you can lead into it by changing things up a little bit, that's great. If now you're thinking, whoa, something's not right, they say just take little steps. For instance, around lunchtime, because it is an hour later than what you're used to, you may be hungry earlier. And that's okay if you have to eat at 11 now instead of noon. Maybe push it off as the week continues. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bedtime. You should do that anyway. But they say especially around the time change. Try to get plenty of sunlight when you can and exercise regularly. And all those things will help ease you through this time of the year. And yesterday was beautiful. It was a great day to have an extra hour. The sun was out and I saw you. I was one of them who took advantage of that and pulled out the holiday decorations. We got the lights up, which is so much nicer to do when it's sunny and nice as opposed to when the wind's blowing and it's snowy. Been there, done that. don't want to do it again. Don't need to tempt fate like that again. So hopefully you did it as well. As I said, I did see quite a few of you on socials who did get your lights up, which is wonderful. Also yesterday, a big day, because here locally, it was the kickoff to Operation Red Nose. This is the 19th year for Operation Red Nose. So if you're saying to yourself, wow, okay, this is, I know this event because we do it every year. It's been 19 years. Rick Watt, the creator really of Operation Red Nose, he is responsible for bringing this initiative here to the Quinte area, one of just 3 in Ontario that runs this program. And what a great program it is, getting you and your vehicle home safely over the holiday season. We checked in with him this morning because yesterday, not only did they announce the co-chairs, Mark and I, but also honored one of our great volunteers here in the community by inducting him into the Hall of Fame. Joining us this morning, Rick Watt. Rick, a big day yesterday with the official launch of Operation Red Nose.
Yes, it was. It was a good day. Yeah.
Now, for those who may not be familiar with it, let's break it down to the basics here. What is Operation Red Nose?
It's a designated driver service that will drive you and your vehicle home for free. If any donations, 100% is given back to a couple of charities, the YMCA Strong Kids and the Camp Trillium.
And how did you get involved in this, Rick?
Well, I drove for them from 96 to the year 2000, and then they never brought it back. Probably, tired, or they have other jobs and, stuff like that. And so I attempted to get it back in 2003, but we didn't, like they said, no, not this year. Well, I immediately filled it out another application. There's quite a lot of work to do, and sent it back. And we found out October 29th that we could run, and that was on a Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon that they called me.
Yes.
And so we had 32 days to get it up and going, and we got it going.
And 19 years later, here we are.
Yes, and, it's because of, honorary chairs like you and Mark. They come out and promote it for us, and it's great.
Well, and as I said yesterday, unfortunately, Mark couldn't be there with me, but we were both so excited and truly honored to be asked to be part of it. We talk about it, of course, every year, but to be included, because yesterday many of the guest speakers were past chairs of the event as well. So to be following in their footsteps, and some pretty big shoes to fill, there's no question. But to see everybody involved and come together, it's incredible.
Yes.
I think we have to focus on Dave Allen as well, because it was also a big day for him. Along with the official launch of this year's event, he was honored with a special recognition as well.
Yes, he is, and he deserved the award that he got for all the hard work that he's done over the years with Operation Red Nose. And there's only been 2 people get that award, other than Quebec, and myself and Dave Allen are the only 2.
Inducted into Operation Red Nose's Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's incredible.
And they've been going for 40 years.
Yeah. And I learned that yesterday, too. So here in the Quinte area, this is actually the 19th year that Operation Red Nose has been in operation. But in fact, it has been going on a little longer than that. But 19 years also, it's a huge accomplishment.
Well, it's because of all the sponsors we have. And, of course, it doesn't happen if we don't have the volunteers.
Absolutely. Now, typically, how many volunteers are involved with Operation Red Nose every year, Rick?
Well, it's hard to say, because when we were going strong, we had probably 250. Last year, we were around 110, because it was the first year back after COVID.
And if people want to volunteer, how can they do that?
They go to Operation Red Nose Quinte, and it should come up. And then if they've volunteered before, they already have a police check, but the people need to get a police check. And if you have to pay, bring the receipt to us, and we will reimburse you.
Now, when does it actually get underway?
It starts the 24th of November.
Okay, so the last weekend in November, and it used to run, wasn't it Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yes.
And now it's Friday, Saturday.
Yes. It's just that...
Friday and Saturdays typically are busier. I think most people would agree with that, yeah. So it kicks off the end of the month, and it will continue through the holidays, of course, through New Year's, getting people and their vehicles home safely this holiday season, which, of course, we all want. absolutely free. Make a donation if and when you can. Operation Red Nose, glad to have it back. And thank you, Rick, for all you do.
Oh, no problem. It's a fun thing to do.
So congratulations again to Dave Allen. What an honor. He and Rick Watt, the only two inductees outside of Quebec where Operation Red Nose originated from, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for their work with Operation Red Nose. And as I mentioned as well, some pretty big shoes to fill when it comes to past chairs. Heard many of them speak yesterday at the official launch. And it's quite a responsibility. So hopefully Mark and I, with our red noses, can rise to the occasion and do as good a job as the past chairs. Looking forward to it. And everybody keeps asking me, are you going to go out on these rides? I really hope to. I would like to do at least one night, if not a couple. Rick goes on about how much fun they are. And actually, speaking to the volunteers yesterday, too, who have been involved with past years of the Operation Red Nose, it's a real team atmosphere with the volunteers of Operation Red Nose. And they do have a lot of fun. So I am looking forward to maybe going out for a night or two and helping some folks get home safely, because we all want that, especially over the holidays. We don't want anything to happen. And even the best laid plans can go awry. You may have everything planned out. You know what? No, we're not going to indulge. We're not going to drink. I'm going to be the DD. Things happen and your plans change. And it's better to be prepared. It's better to have and not need than put yourself in that situation where something tragic could happen. So that's why Operation Red Nose is there. Take advantage of them. Call them. As long as your ride is beginning or ending in Belleville or Trenton, they will come and get you. So keep that number in mind. Keep it on a piece of paper. Put it in your phone. Have it at the ready, 613-962-4334 this holiday season. And again, very excited to be a part of Operation Red Nose this winter along with Mark. Now, along with the launch of that, Trenton Memorial Hospital Foundation also had their gala. Some great photos from the Boots and Bling event, which we checked in with Lindsay Dodds last week. Our own Paul Ferguson was the MC. Some great prizes up for grabs with the silent auction. And they gave away their Studs of Duds prize as well. It was a raffle. You could either win milk duds or a pair of diamond studs from Steve Marshman. All of that can be found at InQuinte.ca. Coming up tomorrow, once again, it will be me, because as I mentioned, Mark is on vacation, but we got some great things lined up. We're going to be speaking with Sherry Meeks this week about women in policing. They have an event coming up next week, but we're going to hear all about it this week. Tomorrow morning, we have Galaxy of Games on the way with our Backwards song win all this week with La Luxe Femme, a new store in Picton. Thanks so much for listening to the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Back at it tomorrow with Mark and Charity.